Hi everyone, this is a look inside atoms. Today we're going to talk about parts of an atom, what an atom is made up of, and the very important parts that you're going to need to know. So inside of an atom, there are three types of subatomic particles. So those important pieces of an atom that we're going to talk about today are also referred to as subatomic particles. The three subatomic particles that you see are protons, neutrons, and electrons. And so for today, you're going to see that they're color-coded. Protons are red, neutrons are blue, and electrons are green. And down below you see the diagram of what an atom might look like when you draw a model. So you can see where protons, neutrons, and electrons are located in the atom. So we're going to start with protons first. If you take a look, again, protons are red. They're located in the center, and it's pointed there with an arrow. Protons have a positive charge. You might see sometimes that positive charge is represented with a plus sign. Protons are located inside the nucleus of an atom, and the nucleus is that center that you see right in the middle. Protons have a mass of 1 atomic mass unit. Atomic mass units are the units that they use to measure the mass of such small particles, and the abbreviation is AMU. Neutrons, which are blue, and you can see are located right alongside the protons. Neutrons have a neutral or no charge. They are also located inside the nucleus or the center of an atom. Neutrons have a mass of 1 atomic mass unit, or 1 AMU. So neutrons and protons are actually the same size, and they have the same mass. And finally, electrons, which are green. Electrons have a negative charge. They are located outside of the nucleus of an atom on the energy levels. And the energy levels that I'm referring to are these black objects here that look like rings. Energy levels can also be referred to as electron shells or electron levels. Electrons have a mass of 0 atomic mass units, or 0 AMUs. Electrons are much, much smaller than protons or neutrons, so they don't have much of a mass at all, so we say it has 0 mass. Electrons, since they're moving around the outside of the nucleus on these energy levels or energy shells, they're moving very, very quickly and they're swirling around in all directions. But when we draw an atom model, we draw them on these rings to show that they're moving in a circular path. And so now that we've learned each particle, I'm going to show you a little bit of a comparison between them. So we have protons and neutrons. They both have a mass of 1 AMU, 1 atomic mass unit. So if we were to take 1 neutron and 1 proton and put them on a balance, one on each side, it would equal out. They have the same mass, they are the same size. However, we mentioned that electrons are so small that we need about 1,830 of them just to equal the mass of either 1 proton or 1 neutron. So electrons actually do have a mass, but their mass is so small that we don't count it. It doesn't count towards the mass of an atom. So as you can see, if we put them on a balance, that's what it would look like. We would have 1 proton to 1,830 electrons to be able to balance it out. And if we didn't have a proton, it would be 1 neutron to 1,830 electrons. So again, protons and neutrons are the same size, but electrons are very, very tiny. And again, we're going to compare just a little bit so you can tell the difference between these three particles. It's very important to know where they're found and what their charges and masses are. So these two charts, some of the information in it is similar, but some is different. So if you see on the left-hand chart, we have protons, neutrons, and electrons, their charges, their masses, and maybe some symbols you might see that represent them. So protons have a charge of +1 because they're positive. Neutrons have a charge of 0 because they don't have a charge. They're neutral, none. Electrons have a charge of minus or -1 because their charge is negative. So if you had 4 protons, the charge would be +4. Then it has the mass. The mass of a proton is 1. The mass of a neutron is 1 because they are the same size. And the mass of an electron is 1 over 1,836. So it's a fraction, it's very small. But you'll notice in this right-hand column that it actually shows the mass here is 0 because that's what we call it. It's 0 mass. Even though it does have a little bit of mass, we actually don't count it. So we're going to say the electron has a mass of 0. It doesn't contribute towards the mass of an atom. And again, just another refresher here that protons and neutrons are found in the center, in the nucleus, while electrons move around the outside on those orbitals or those energy shells. One way I like to remember the charges is that a proton is positive, so just think P and P. Proton is positive. A neutron is neutral, so I think N and N. Neutron, neutral, no. And electrons are negative. So just a reminder, protons, neutrons, and electrons are also called subatomic particles. They're the 3 main parts that make up an atom. Protons and neutrons are found inside of the nucleus, and electrons are found moving outside of the nucleus. Every atom has different numbers of protons, neutrons, and electrons. It depends on what kind of atom and what element you're talking about, and we'll actually talk about that coming up. But for now, this was just an introduction to your subatomic particles.